and 2001 Hawaii Undersea Research Laboratory's submersibles found the wreck of the fifth midget submarine lying in 3 parts outside Pearl Harbor. The wreck was in the debris field where much surplus U.S. equipment was dumped after the war, including vehicles and landing craft. Both of its torpedoes were missing. This correlates with reports of 2 torpedoes fired at the light cruiser St. Louis at 10:04 at the entrance of Pearl Harbor, and a possible torpedo fired at destroyer Helm at 08:21.78. There is dispute over this official chain of events though. The torpedo that St. Louis saw was also reportedly a porpoising minesweeping float being towed by the destroyer Box. 79. A photo taken by a Japanese naval aviator of Battleship Row during the attack on Pearl Harbor was declassified in the 1990s and publicized in the 2000s to the public. According to numerous historians and naval architects, this photo shows that the 5th midget submarine appeared to have fired a torpedo at West Virginia and another one at Oklahoma. These torpedoes were twice the size of the aerial torpedoes, so it was possible that both torpedoes fired with unaccounted for 5th submarine heavily contributed to the sinkings of both ships and especially helped to capsize Oklahoma because Oklahoma was the only battleship that day to suffer catastrophic damage to a belt armor at the waterline from a torpedo. Admiral Chester Nimitz in a report to Congress confirmed it at one midget submarine's torpedo, possibly from the other midget submarine that fired torpedoes but failed to hit a target, which was fired but didn't explode, was recovered in Pearl Harbor, and it was much larger than the aerial torpedoes. 80, 81, 82, Japanese declaration of war. The attack took place before any formal declaration of war was made by Japan, but this was not Admiral Yamamoto's intention. He originally stipulated that the attack should not commence until 30 minutes after Japan had informed the United States that peace negotiations were at an end. 83. However, the attack began before the notice could be delivered. Tokyo transmitted the 5,000-word notification, commonly called the 14-part message, in 2 blocks to the Japanese embassy in Washington. Transcribing the message took too long for the Japanese ambassador to deliver it at 1 p.m. Washington time, as ordered, and as such, the message was not presented until more than 1 hour after the attack had begun, but in fact, U.S. code breakers had already deciphered and translated most of the message hours before it was scheduled to be delivered. 84, 85. pp.2ff. The final part of the message is sometimes described as a declaration of war. While it was viewed by a number of senior U.S. government and military officials as a very strong indicator negotiations were likely to be terminated, 86, and that war might break out at any moment, 87, it neither declared war nor severed diplomatic relations. A declaration of war was printed on the front page of Japan's newspapers in the evening edition of December the 8th, late December the 7th in the U.S., 88, but not delivered to the U.S. government until the day after the attack. For decades, conventional wisdom held that Japan attacked without first formally breaking diplomatic relations only because of accidents and bumbling that delayed the delivery of a document hinting at war to Washington. 89. In 1999, however, Takeo Igachi, a professor of law and international relations at International Christian University in Tokyo, discovered documents that pointed to a vigorous debate inside government over how, and indeed whether, to notify Washington of Japan's intention to break off negotiations and start a war, including a December the 7th entry in the war diary saying, "Oh, you're deceptive." Diplomacy is steadily proceeding towards success. Of this, Igachi said, "The diary shows that the Army and Navy did not want to give any proper declaration of war, or indeed prior notice even of the termination of negotiations. and they clearly prevailed. 91. In any event, even if the Japanese had decoded and delivered the 14-part message before the beginning of attack, it would not have constituted either a formal break of diplomatic relations or a declaration of war. 92. The final two paragraphs of the message read sad smiley 93, thus the earnest hope of the Japanese government to adjust Japanese-American relations and to preserve and promote the peace of the Pacific through cooperation with the American government has finally been lost. The Japanese government regrets to have to notify hereby the American government that in view of the attitude of the American government it cannot but consider that it is impossible to reach an agreement through further negotiations. U.S. Naval intelligence officers were alarmed by the unusual timing for delivering the message 1 p.m. on a Sunday, which was 7:30 a.m. in Hawaii, and attempted to alert Pearl Harbor. But due to communication problems the warning was not delivered before the attack. 85. Chapter 1 First Wave Composition. The first attack wave of 183 planes was launched north of Oahu, led by Commander Mitsuo Fuida. 94. 6 planes failed to launch due to technical difficulties. 68. The first attack included 3 groups of planes sad smiley NB-14, 1 ST group, targets, battleships and aircraft carriers, 96, 49 Nakajima B-5 Kate bombers armed with 800 kg, 1,760 pound, armor-piercing bombs organized in 4 sections, 1 failed to launch. 40 B-5N bombers armed with Type 91 torpedoes, also in 4 sections. Second group, targets, Ford Island and Wheeler Field, 51 HED-3 Aval dive bombers armed with 550 pound, 249 kilograms, general-purpose bombs, 3 failed to launch. Third group, targets, aircraft at Ford Island, Highcam Field, Wheeler Field, Barbers Point Kamiya, 43 Mitsubishi A6M0 fighters for air control and strafing, 95, 2 failed to launch. As the first wave approached Oahu, it was detected by the U.S. Army SCR-270 radar at Opana Point near Thailand's northern tip. This post had been in training mode for months, but was not yet operational. 97. The operators, Privates George Elliott Jr. and Joseph Lockhart, reported a target to Private Joseph P. McDonald, a private stationed at Fort Shafter's Intercept Center near Pearl Harbor. 98, 99, 100. But Lieutenant Kermit Tyler, a newly assigned officer at the thinly manned Intercept Center, presumed it was scheduled arrival of 6 B-17 bombers from California. The Japanese planes were approaching from a direction very close, only a few degrees difference, to the bombers, 101, and while the operators had never seen a formation as large on radar, they neglected to tell Tyler of its size. 102. Tyler, for security reasons, could not tell the operators of the 6 B-17s that were due, even though it was widely known. 102. Diplomacy is steadily proceeding towards success. Of this, Igachi said, the diary shows that the Army and Navy did not want to give.
Yes, I need to take a break because my apartment is super hot. I'm close to fall asleep. Not because I'm tired, it's because it's super hot. It's 30 degrees hot. And I'm living in Scandinavia, so 30 degrees is very hot when you're me, and I'm very sleepy because I'm not sleeping well in the nights. And we have the news, the Danish news in 2 minutes. So the heating will not go away. It's just going on for days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks. That makes me very tired and sleepy. The heating will not get out my apartment. It's always 30 degrees. But not in the night. In the night it's 25, but it's very hot. So sleep in blankets. We have the Danish evening news in 1 minute. And I'm uploading the other Japan video. So I need a break and I will charge the camcorder. So let's do that.